I rewatched all 6 Scream films back to back because Scream 7 drops Friday, and I needed to know whether I'm still being hunted or whether I'm just playing along. Not who the killer is, whether I'm scared. Because somewhere along the way, I stopped bracing. I started solving. That's not an insult to the franchise. That's just a structural observation. What's up, my know-it-alls? Okay, this is not a ranking. This is a line in the sand. After 6 films in one compressed run, I landed on something that I can't really unsee. Scream cannot meaningfully evolve while it remains a whodunit franchise. Not because the third act room is stale, but because the chassis itself converts fear into logic. And logic is safety. Watch how these films breathe, okay? Just walk with me, if you will. Early sequences are unstable. Chase scenes fragment space, handheld energy, partial geography, doors half seen, movement that's lateral and evasive, desperate. The camera hunts. But by the time you reach the third act, in almost every entry, something changes. Chaos compresses into containment. The blocking becomes very face-forward. Characters square off instead of flee. Movement becomes conversational. Shot, reverse shot, dominates. The camera stabilizes. The cutting lengthens, the frame stops searching and starts presenting. The movie is no longer about survival. It's about explanation. Now that shift is not accidental. It's the whodunit chassis taking control. The format trains you. Suspicion, rotation, redirects fear into analysis. There's red herrings, of course, and they act like pressure valves. You feel tension rise, then the film hands you a logic breadcrumb. And your nervous system relaxes because you're no longer prey. You're sorting data. That's the trick. The reveal doesn't just expose a killer, it converts irrational violence into motive. Motive equals comprehension, comprehension equals closure, and closure equals sort of a resetting of your mind, and that reset ultimately equals sequel viability? That's not just storytelling, it's something repeatable. I guess repeatability is the safety net of a franchise, and repeatability demands solvability. Is that a word? Okay, so here's where this gets uncomfortable. It's not just studios that like closure. Audiences do. You do. I do. We like finishing the puzzle. We like saying, I called it. Nailed it. We like feeling smart. Okay, and Scream trained us to want that. It's built anticipation, or at the very least participation, into its DNA. It rewards us for recognizing structure. So when I say the chassis is the ceiling, I'm not accusing the franchise alone. I'm accusing us. We don't just tolerate solvability. We demand it. Let me say here a second, because this is the part that really bothered me the most during the marathon. I enjoy predicting it. I enjoy noticing when the camera stabilizes before the reveal. I enjoy seeing when the film corrals everyone into a speech-ready room. I enjoy feeling ahead of the cut. Trust me, I'm a recovering narcissist after all. That's ego. The franchise fed that ego for decades. It made horror feel participatory instead of humiliating. So maybe what I'm reacting to isn't just structural fatigue. Maybe I'm reacting to the fact that the ritual no longer humiliates me. And if horror doesn't humiliate you even a little, what's it doing? Okay, here's another layer. Scream taught audiences to recognize structure. It made meta-awareness part of the fun. But over time, that awareness turns against the film. Because once the scaffolding is visible, once you can see the framework, you you really stopped fearing the building and you started admiring it. I'm sorry, but admiration is absolutely not dread. Now, let's not pretend this is a clean fix by any stretch of the imagination. If Scream abandons the Whodunit frame inventory, it loses audience participation, marketing hooks, clue-based rewatch value, and the satisfaction of completion. Really, it risks alienating the very fans who keep it alive. And maybe that's the point. Maybe Scream was never meant to be pure terror. Maybe it was always horror inside a safe container. If that's true, then what I'm asking for is not evolution. It's transformation into something else. And that's a dangerous demand. Okay, I need you to know I know that. But Whodunit equals modular, and modular equals swappable suspects. Swappable suspects equal infinite entries, and infinite entries equal monetizable longevity. The format generates repeatability. The repeatability is not a side effect. It's the product design. So when I argue the chassis is the ceiling, I guess I'm not saying they're lazy. I'm saying the structure that keeps the franchise alive also keeps it contained. And here's the part that I have to admit, maybe containment is the identity. Maybe asking Scream to abandon solvability is like asking a musical to stop singing. Maybe the comfort horror hybrid is the point. Maybe I'm the one mismatched because I compress 6 films into forensic saturation. That's possible. But as long as Scream stays a whodunit, it stays contained. And contained means comprehensible. Comprehensible means safe. And safe means it can't truly ever destabilize. If Scream 7 keeps the chassis intact, it might be clever. It might be satisfying. It might even be great. But it won't be transformative. Because the transformation would require abandoning the puzzle. And abandoning the puzzle risks breaking the brand. So there you go. Now you know. And if knowing's half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. I'm walking into Scream 7 with a question bigger than Ghostface. Is this franchise willing to risk being unsatisfying in order to be frightening again? Or does it need to stay solvable to survive? And if it needs to stay solvable, maybe the ceiling isn't accidental. Maybe it's structural. Let me know where you land. Do you want the ritual perfected, or do you want the ritual broken? Even if it costs the thing you love. Comment below. Are you looking forward to the next installment of the Scream franchise? I know I am. But come back Saturday for my review when we learn the answer to those very questions that I've just been asking. Until next time, never forget, everyone loves a know-it-all. Bye, guys.